Skype has officially allowed us to start properly recording the interview now. Excellent.
Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Thrashers Paradise. Today I'm joined with another special guest. He is from Montreal. His name is James, and he is part of the band Synastry, and they just released a brand new EP, which came out on November 27th. The EP is called Civilization's Coma. James, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Colin. Doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. Thank you for asking. Now, let's just dive right into it. What's it like to get your first EP out into the world finally?
Well, it's really good actually. It's not our first EP though. We've been on hiatus for like over a decade. So it's like a reintroduction EP. I guess kind of in a way it's like a new direction that we're going to. So it is kind of like a new, well, it's a new EP there, but it's like our first one in a while. So, man, it feels good to finally be able to say that it's out and for it to be out and for people to be listening to it. So, yeah, it's a good thing, man. It's a good feeling.
Now, a week into it being released into the world, what has the response been from the fans and new listeners alike about the EP?
Overall, it's very positive. So, like, I haven't heard anything bad about it. So that's always a good thing. There's 3 songs on it. They're all very strong and they're all like to the point. And I think that the response has been mostly positive. So we're happy to hear that and to see that.
Awesome. Now, with this being the band's first release in a decade after coming back from hiatus, what was the thought going into creating this EP after getting back together and deciding, okay, let's release something?
Well, I mean, the landscape for music has changed a lot. The bands and artists are able to be more in control of their own destiny, and not necessarily the way it was 10 years ago. That's like one reason why we got back together. Another reason is like we were all best friends still. Like we were best friends while we were in the band. We're all best friends throughout the years, and we had like toyed around with, like rekindling the fire or whatever it is, and doing like more releases and more songs and stuff. And we just decided it was time, and that's it, man. It just came together, and we just said, screw it, let's record and release some new stuff. So that's how we got to where we are.
Awesome. Now, I love the title of the EP, Civilization's Coma. What made all of you collectively as a band decide this has to be the name, the title of our return of this EP?
Well, because we like, how could I put this? I mean, like with EPs, I feel like it's good to title them under a track name. So like the song was, I think like the way that we chose which songs would go onto the EP was centered around the song Civilization's Coma. So the other 2 songs, Dead to Me and Narcomancy, kind of like closer related in subject matter to Civilization's Coma. And we said, listen, it makes sense, and let's keep this naming pattern. So that's how we chose it, and it's just, I think, is like a very apropos for the time. We had planned on releasing it, but then COVID hit, so like we were holding on to the material for a while. Like even the songs, we had them for a while, like in various incarnations, and we finally decided to finish them off and record them properly and release them like in the form that they are now.
Of course. Now, for you personally, which song did you find the most difficult when it came to either writing it or recording it, just throughout the whole process? Which song did you feel gave you the most difficult time?
I would say probably Narcomancy, because it's a little bit off, like off the beaten path for us, because there's some like little changes and variations that were kind of tough to really like connect with off the get-go, like when we were writing it, for me at least, and like to record the ideas that I had and that I wanted to convey was a bit challenging in the studio, but I think it worked out. Like the song, like kind of shows like a progression of like being just a normal person and then reaching like your breaking point or getting slowly driven insane. And I found like bringing that into a recorded atmosphere was challenging, but I think I pulled it off. So
I do have to say it did turn out great. It's a very great song. Now, one of the main things that I do love about EPs or albums is the artwork that coincides with it. They all look beautiful. It all looks great. And this EP artwork is just so powerful. From the just compare, I'm losing words trying to express this.
nice.
It's
That's a good thing.
yeah, it is a very powerful that I can say because for me it works perfectly with the title of the EP. What made the band want to go with this design, and who is the mastermind behind it?
So we have an artist that we've worked with for the longest time, like even from the previous, like our previous releases. His name is Mickey O from Silent Q Design. We kind of just put all of our trust into him. We tell him, listen, this is the song title, these are the song lyrics, and this is the general vibe that we want to convey. And he just grinds it out like a machine. The guy's a genius. So he just takes our like basic skeleton of an idea and he fleshes it out and has a lot of meat on them bones. So I think he's very tapped into what we want, and he's worked with a lot of other people too. So he has a lot of experience. Like he's worked with the Agonist, he's worked with Bob Katsionis from Firewind, and like he's done some novel covers and stuff. So the guys, we started right around the time he started doing art, I think, professionally too. So back in like the early 2000s, he was our go-to guy, and he just stuck. Stayed in contact with him, and he's stuck to us now. So
It's always good to make connections early on. Now,
yeah, big time.
now re-entering back into the Montreal metal scene, what was it
Mhm.
like after those 10 years just to be back part of the Montreal metal scene?
It feels good, but we haven't really like been reintroduced properly because we haven't played live. Like we haven't really interacted much with other bands like the way that we used to. So it is a bit weird because we haven't really like I don't know, our friends and everyone else knows that we're back, but we haven't really like gone deep into being reintroduced per se, right? Because everything's been closed. So yeah, we're just here waiting now. But so far it's been positive. Like the things that we've heard, like people were saying, "Oh God, you guys are back." Like Matt McGackie from Cryptopsy, he found out and he's like, "What the fuck, you guys are back?" Like, when did this happen? How did this happen? I was like, "Yeah, bro, we just decided let's do this." So it's good stuff, man. It's good to have a positive reaction when you do something. Like too much
Yeah.
negative reinforcement isn't good.
Mhm. But no, just to hear that a member of Cryptopsy is excited to have you back. That's awesome.
Yeah, man, that's really cool. And well, we're friends with him from back in the day, and their guitarist actually, Chris, recorded part of he recorded my vocals actually, and JF Dagenet recorded the guitars, drum, and bass from Cataclysm. And Kevin Jardine from Slaves on Dope did the electronics and the samples and keyboards, and it was mixed by, it was mixed by JF and then mastered by Jeff Fortin from Anonymous. So we had we had kind of cherry picked the best of the best, and we got a pretty good result out of it. So
Yeah, that is amazing and awesome. Now, earlier in the interview, you did mention picking and choosing which songs to
mhm.
put on this EP. How many songs are set aside, if you could tell us? And could we maybe be seeing something in the next couple of years?
Well, actually, yeah, we'll. It's not a secret. Like we recorded a full length, and we were supposed to release a full length But because we didn't want to sit on releasing it any longer, we decided to split the full length up into EPs. So because we don't know what's going to happen with COVID and like the next couple of months or the next year or so with live shows and all that jazz, we just said screw it. We're going to release the songs in EP form slowly and just reintroduce ourselves like that because there was no rush to go anywhere or play live or anything like that. So that's what we decided. So every little while, there's going to be a little treat of Synastry coming out. So
I was gonna say that is very smart and awesome. Like that you did decide to do that because I think as a fan
mhm.
that's even better instead of just waiting for something full, just getting little tidbits every now and then. I'd rather that. That's amazing.
Yeah, man. It's the way people digest music now too, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you go on streaming platform or what have you, and you just listen to like a song or two, and then if like the thing mixes and goes to like another song, like you might maybe you listen to the whole album, maybe you won't. So instead of just like dropping like a full length, we just said screw it. We'll just put like 3 songs now, 3 songs, a couple, etc., and just like whet people's appetite a little bit and get things going, right? So and
Yeah.
we're constantly like working on stuff too. So it's not just the songs that we've recorded that we have in the pipeline. We have uh probably a lot of material in the pipeline. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, for what we recorded, we got stuff for 2021 indeed, and like even 2022 and 2023, we have stuff planned. So
Awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing it all. You go away now, cat. Sorry, she I guess she just wants to meet you.
yeah, well, that's cool, man. I love cats, so
Oh, okay. No, so you, as you just mentioned, you have lots of planned up to 2023 potentially. Does that include some merchandise per se?
yeah, I think so. We're working on what we're going to create, the designs and all that stuff. We're looking for a supplier and trying to find a way to maximize the economy of scale, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be coming. That'll be probably ready and by the end of probably be end of February, beginning of March, 2021. So
Okay. For you, as both a metal musician and a metal fan,
mhm.
when it comes to merchandise, what do you find is the most underappreciated type of merch a band could sell?
hmm. I would say fitted T-shirts because like we all have gone to like all sorts of gigs and you get like the one shirt that's like a large, but for some reason it's like an extra large.
Yes.
So like these like the more fitted T-shirts that they're kind of like I don't know if it's like fitting the shape better and it like kind of complements the physique, right? Like I think those are underrated. So underrated and underproduced. So I think that would probably be like a little teaser of what we're looking at. That and like quality design on girls' t-shirts, because like listen, man, like men and women have different shapes and stuff. So
Yeah.
if a girl wants to wear something that like fits like a 300-pound dude, it's might not be the best course of action for them, right? So like those are the two things, like fitted guy shirts and like shirts made specifically for women. So I think those are the two things that we're looking at the most also. So maybe that's why just top of mind right now.
Okay. Awesome. Now, a lot of bands nowadays, because of COVID, have been doing either a live stream concert performance or even just a simple playthrough of the song with each instrument, or even as full bands.
Mhm.
Has Synastry at least maybe talked about potentially doing one of those ventures?
I think once we have more material out so that we could like not spoil anything that's coming out, and so that people are a bit more familiar with it, I think that would be the next thing as far as like online playthroughs or like an online concert or what have you. But we want to have more stuff out. Like that's kind of like the double-edged sword with releasing the songs in batches versus releasing the songs as an album like one shot. But I mean, that's our view on it. So I think once we get at least one more EP, maybe we're going to do some sort of live stream, either a show or a playthrough. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, we're definitely looking into doing something like that because, man, audiences, fans, everybody, like, they're starved for this stuff, right? Like, there's no live shows anywhere here. And, you know, the internet is a good thing. It's a good tool.
Yeah. Thankful, very thankful for the internet right now, because without that, this wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
But no, I think that's very smart of you and the band to wait for people to get familiar with it before you do something like that. I think that's really cool.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we just want to be cautious and like take our time. You know, like took us like about 10 years to get to this point, so we're not going to make any like rash decisions.
Okay, of course, makes sense. And now I do have one last question to ask you. It's from an old metalhead movie that a lot of metalheads know. We ask it just to see their metal knowledge about it. I hope you are game for it, if that is okay.
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm game for anything.
Okay, great. The question is simple. Who would win in a fight, Lemmy or God?
That's a trick question because Lemmy is God.
Yeah. You are correct, James.
I'm not a cop, man. I'm not a cop.
I know you're not a cop, and that's perfect. No, James, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to do this little interview with me. I greatly appreciate it a lot. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the people that are going to be watching this on YouTube?
Yeah, man, just have fun, be safe, like stay safe, enjoy the holidays as much as you can, and that's it, man. Just rock on and take care of each other.
Awesome. Once again, thank you so much, James. And until next time, everyone, keep on thrashing.
Thanks, Colin.